Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty heavy. The forces behind gentrification and housing displacement. We're grounding this in a narrative our source material uses set in 2040. Imagine Elena sitting on this old porch swing. Her parents bought the house 70 years back. But now, it's just the thump-thump of construction everywhere. She's remembering neighbors, Mrs. Gable's lemonade, Mr. Henderson fixing bikes. Those are just echoes now, really. Drowned out.
Yeah, and that narrative really sets the stage. It helps us see the mechanics. We're talking big factors here like significant in-migration, specifically high earners moving in. They're looking for a certain perceived quality of life. But the irony is their arrival often ends up destroying that very quality of life for the people already there.
Exactly. And the source shows it doesn't happen overnight. It starts subtly, maybe 10 years before Elena's time in 2040. The first clue is often aesthetic, right? That corner store you knew forever. Suddenly it's a hip coffee shop. And the houses, maybe colorful old places. Now they're getting painted these crisp gray tones. Minimalist gardens replacing rose bushes.
That visual change, it's like the canary in the coal mine. It signals what's coming next, which is the really tough part, the economic squeeze.
Right, because Elena's on a fixed income. And suddenly housing prices aren't just numbers in the news. They directly affect her.
Oh. Well, those rising prices mean property taxes shoot up. And for her, the source says they become this crushing weight.
Yeah, crushing. And it wasn't just her. The narrative gives examples. Like her neighbor, Maria, lived there 40 years. Her landlord just doubled the rent. Doubled it. She had to move like 2 states away.
That's housing affordability just collapsing, isn't it? The market simply stops working for long-term residents, for working people. They're forced out. And often, that exodus is driven by profit. Think about the Hendersons, another neighbor mentioned. They sold to a developer. Got a price that sounded, astronomical. Huge developer profitability right there.
Wow. Must have felt like winning the lottery.
For a minute, maybe. But that astronomical price, it didn't actually buy them much anywhere else in the city. They were still priced out just with a big check that didn't stretch far enough.
Okay, so this is where it gets really complicated, even paradoxical. The source points out that new construction rate actually went up. Lots of new buildings, shiny high-rises. The overall housing stock increased. So shouldn't that have helped? Made things more affordable.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But no, because what kind of housing got built? It was almost all luxury stuff. Glass and steel towers aimed squarely at those high earners who were moving in.
So it didn't ease the pressure at the lower end.
It actually made it worse. Those high-cost towers basically reset the price expectations for the whole area. They acted like magnets, pulling all prices and taxes up.
And policy played a role here, didn't it?
A huge role. The source mentioned zoning regulations. It seems they prioritize these lucrative high-density projects. Policymakers likely saw the potential tax revenue from luxury development, and, well, that focus meant land wasn't available for genuinely affordable options. Density went up, but affordability went down.
The system basically optimized for profit, not for people like Elena.
Exactly. Which brings us back to her, to the tragic end result. Elena facing tax foreclosure. That affordability squeeze pushed almost all the long-term residents out, and this source paints a bleak picture beyond just Willow Street.
Yeah, like waiting lists for senior housing stretching on for years, shelters overflowing. It points to a real rise in homelessness among the displaced.
So Elena's house, her history, her anchor, it gets sold at auction.
And she feels like her own city has become alien. That emotional cost is immense.
It is. Ultimately, the narrative shows this relentless market tide. It creates opportunities and wealth. For some, sure. But for others, the ones left behind, it's a tragedy. The house is gone. The echoes of laughter, of community, they just fade into the noise of construction, of quote-unquote progress.
It leaves you with a really difficult question, doesn't it? When a community's charm, its history, its people, is the very thing that attracts investment, how can you ensure the benefits of that investment actually help, or at least don't displace, the original residents? How do you stop the charm from becoming the tool of expulsion?
That's the core challenge, isn't it? Something for all of us to think about.